Welcome to Ophiuchus Tarot. We are back again with another channel message for the collective. But before we jump right in and get started, I just want to take a moment, say hi, and welcome to new subscribers. I am so happy to have you on board with us. Thank you for becoming part of the Ophiuchus tribe. As always, it is an absolute honor and blessing to read for each and every single one of you. That being said, we're going to jump in. I was drawn to a certain deck this morning as soon as I opened my eyes, so I do know that there is something coming in. It feels like a lot of big energy. So let's see. We've got the Pook. All right. Before we speak on it. Okay. Yeah, I heard figuring out what's fear and what's fact. With the Pook, the energy of the Pook is the good and the bad and the good. And then we have the singer of intuition, right? So it's figuring out what is intuition and what is fear when you're moving forward. It's like if it comes from a place of nervousness, it's probably your fear speaking and not your intuition. And I feel like there might be a part of you that realizes this and you're starting to really apply it to your day-to-day life, especially with the Lamb. The Lamb has been through a lot and sits on wisdom. So it's like the Lamb, I'm sure, knows that when nervous energy comes in, it's not her intuition or her soul's inner compass that's guiding her. It's fear that's driving her, right? So, and I feel like you might be in the same type of energy, figuring out what's fear from what's fact, right? And your fact coming from your very clear knowing and clear connection to the divine, right? What's guiding you? And I feel like that's the question Spirit's trying to ask. It's like, what's guiding you right now? Always kind of take stock. I feel like there's something that fear has had you keep on the back burner. Now, I don't know what this is for you. It could be different for just about everybody. But I feel like there's a want and I wanted to say borderline need to bring that thing off the back burner and bring it to the forefront and really focus on it. I feel like, there could be celebration coming up because of pulling that thing off of the back burner, whatever it is. It could be a relationship. It could be a certain job. It could be a side hustle. It could be something that you just really enjoy, like a hobby. Whatever that is, yeah, bring it back to life. I feel like there's the opportunity. It's like you allowed it to die out because for whatever reason, you weren't putting the effort and energy into that thing. And Spirit's saying maybe there was a fearful reason as to why you put it on the back burner. I'm not good enough, or maybe it's not for me. It's like, and I feel like maybe now you're starting to think it's like, that was fear talking. I am absolutely good enough for what I want to do or where I want to be, or maybe for a new relationship, whatever that is, or going towards a certain person. It's like, I just feel like there's something you're taking off the back burner. Yeah, there's a truth coming through. That's why he the fiery sword. I feel like ready to attack the problem, ready to step forward in your, I hear honest truth. I really love that. Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of happiness in. It's going to bring a lot of sunshine and warmth into your life. This is something that you could put down roots and it could start growing, which I really love. I feel like there's a lot of wisdom here under your belt. It shows here and it shows again here. It's like, this is like the mental space, right? Thinking about it. And this is giving it roots. So action, right? Grounding it down into reality. And I feel like whatever this is, you have what it takes to ground it down into reality. You're not letting your fears dictate your direction. Fantastic. I love that for you, collective. I hear brave, time to be brave, right? I want that, whatever it is. Yeah, the fawn. It's all about your path. Skipping down that path and stepping into your power with that himself energy, tuned in, tapped in, turned up. Following that soul's inner compass, there's a depth of love and happiness that can be had by really just being authentic along your journey. And I feel like this is just another instance where you allow more of yourself to kind of step forward and become more. I really love it. Yeah. I hear the honest truth. This is really going to bump up your vibration as well. Take that thing off the back burner. I don't know what it is for you, but take it off the back burner. It deserves to come to the forefront, or it deserves some attention. I heard much needed attention. So it could be something fun, like I said. It could be something that you do as a hobby that could end up being maybe something that brings in monetary abundance as well. Whatever it is, it's like it could be just like a side project. Work on that. Wow. Okay. I do know it's something you're going to be very committed to with unity. It could be, for some of you, it could be a relationship. It could be someone that you put on the back burner, someone that you didn't dive into just yet. Wow, what happened here? All the cards got crazy. You know, I feel like that's a symbol in itself. All the cards were like flipped and they fell out, and some are on the floor. I feel like those aren't important right now, but what is there is maybe someone who you may have put on the back burner because they frightened you just a little bit, because they kind of had everything you were looking for, because everybody's charmed by them, and so were you, right? I feel like Fairy, who was kissed by the pixies, she even charms the wild beasts of the forest. So now, this could be coming in your direction, or you could be going towards this. Could go either way. It's going to be a little different for everybody. These are general readings, so take what resonates, toss the rest. If it's not for you, leave it out here on the board. It's for someone else. But I do see that it's like wanting something to come together here. It's like wanting to allow yourself to be charmed by this experience. I feel like someone with this, oh, that gnome. Now, if you look at him in the upright, he's a character, right? He kind of is really kind of focused in on something that's going on. Maybe kind of has some funny words to say here and there. I don't want to say full of themselves, but they may make themselves seem that way. So it's like, I don't know if this person didn't give you the credit where credit was due. It's like they wanted to pretend like they didn't see you like this. Or the opposite way, you wanted to pretend like you didn't see this person's magic or this person's allure, right? But I feel like maybe it's time to close that gap. Maybe it's time to pull that off the back burner and go in the direction that's going to make you happy with the person that's going to make you happy. So that could be for some as well. There could be a healing energy going through this situation. Oh my gosh, these cards are literally jumping out of my hands. You know, maybe you feel like you've got what it takes right now, or they feel like they've got what it takes right now. This is a Glen Conner. They know they've got some, yeah, very attractive, right? Getting ready to drop the mask as well, which I love to see in this situation, especially with that energy we were getting earlier. So whomever it is that's coming in with this mask on is coming in and ready to kind of drop it, because the fairy who was kissed by the pixies, she's going to see right through it anyway. So you might as well just leave it at the door. It's not important. If this person loves you, they're going to love you for who you are in your entirety, not you omitting pieces of yourself or shielding pieces of yourself, or, you know, kind of keeping, it's like keeping a barrier in between two people who want to grow something together, right? There's no room for that in this situation. And I feel like that might be something that's coming through as well. Ready to walk the path together. I feel like the fairy who's been kissed by the pixies is carving her own path. This Glen Conner could also be carving their own path. This person, whether it's you or your person, does kind of have like a sexually charged type of energy. So a very adult, come to me type of energy. So it's like, I don't know if this person's coming in towards you, really trying to wow you with their allure, because I feel like they're trying to match this energy. So it's either you trying to match this person's energy or this person's light, just in your own way, right? I just feel like there's a sense of equality or equal energy going into this. Yeah, we've got ecstasis, man. This is following the soul into, I wanted to say into the next chapter. or into the future. This is like soul song stuff, following that soul song, knowing that it's right, and then protecting and nurturing it as it grows wild. That's the energy here. So for those of you that this is a love situation, it does look to have like a wild energy to it. For the others where this is like a job or a side hustle or whatever it is, it could be really gaining more of your attention to really bloom and blossom and transform into a big part of your future. So now, should I? Yeah, let's do it. Let's find out what fell to the floor. If I can grab them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the energy here is, yeah, we have guardian at the gate. So something was blocking before. Fear about going into the darkness and not knowing where it was going to turn up. And then afraid to be seen. So this was put on hold when this is a situation of the heart, or a relationship, or, you know, what could have been a relationship. I feel like it was put on hold because someone was dealing with their fears, and that's where we started in this energy, right? We started with someone really kind of, I wanted to say, grappling with their fears and trying to figure out what is fear and what is intuition. It's like, is my intuition pulling me forward or is it fear? And sometimes it takes quite a bit of growth to really kind of see between the two which one is which, right? So you come out on the other side with a whole lot more knowledge and understanding and wisdom, and then it leads to happiness, right? So you've learned, and then you're growing along the path. I really love it. I feel like this could kind of throw you energetically for a loop, or your person for a loop, but I feel like it's all good energy. So it may kind of, I want to say, surprise someone almost, is kind of what I get here. Yeah. You know, for some of you, like I said, this is going back to the past. It's a beeline back to the past to pick up something you've forgotten, right? And it's like, I left that person in the past. Give me one moment. Let me go back and grab that person, right? And I feel like that's kind of what this is almost. I really kind of love the energy. I think it's fun. So for those of you that it is a person, it's going back to grab a person. For others of you, it's going back to grab an opportunity or a hobby or just something that's supposed to be part of your future going forward, right? All right, let's see. Let me take a sip. That energy, excuse me, got pretty intense and pretty strong towards the end. There was a lot of push in that energy. Oh, come over here. There were two that didn't want to go in the pile here when I picked it up. We have the crocodile and the snake. I hear something about, I want to say, coming out of a depressive type state. It's like starting to see the world in a different way, wanting to connect to new energy. So, you know, this could be you or someone coming in towards you. I'm going to say you because I do feel like, you know, collective, we're all on different parts of the journey. Not all of us are standing tall in our power just yet. And that's okay. Everybody is on, like I said, a different part of the path. We're all on a learning and growing journey. So I want to say, if you're not there yet, this might be a reading. I do feel like, or this could be a past of where you're standing now. So this could be timeline energy as well. This is all about the path and the journey. I want to say coming out of depression or coming out of sad energy. Now, this could be someone who's been through a lot in life and has had a lot of situations that have caused a great many tears, right? Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Or, you know, it's like one thing after another for a while until you get spat out on the other side and you're just laying there like, just leave me. I'll scrape myself off the pavement eventually, right? And I feel like that's the energy here. And I feel like when you landed on a new part of the grid, so new energy. One that's going to get you up and get you moving forward passionately. I do see that. Let's see. I feel like Spirit's been walking with you the whole time. sometimes we're asked to walk through really hard things and you think, well, where's divine or where is spirit? It's like, I don't see them anywhere. Just know that in those moments, they are with you probably more powerfully than they are normally. Um, but they're silent. And they get silent because they want you to make the choices. Or you to call them in and ask for help, or you to, and maybe you have been doing that, but maybe the help requires a breakdown before the rebuild. So, I am kind of seeing that energy here. It's like maybe you almost felt, I'm getting the sense that somebody felt abandoned, like spirit forgot about them. Um, I want to say that never happens, ever, not for any single one of us, but they are quiet while the student is testing. And they're, our biggest teachers, they're quiet while we test. They want to see what our answers are so they know where to put us vibrationally, right? As we move forward, did you learn the lessons? If you did, great. You're on to the next, right? And sometimes our trials and tribulations, they're not easy ones. And we get bombarded with energy. And it's the way we wade through it. They wait to see how we want to maneuver, right? Spirits, yeah, they've been keeping an eye on you, I want to say, this whole time. Just know that it's there. You know, I do want to say it might have felt like the breakdown and the rebuild is very public. I almost want to say this new energy moving forward will also be very public. I hear they're going to hear you roar. I want to say you've been protected the whole time. You've been watched over the whole time. This is all just part of your path and your purpose, the way you're getting to where you need to be. They took you from point A, which was maybe not the best energy that you had to sit in for a while. Experiences that you had to go through could have been rough, right? But Spirit's been communicating quietly with you, maybe through dreams, through your intuition, right? Guiding your steps to get you where you need to go. Just maybe not outwardly showing up as much as maybe you think they should, right? They've been helping you build quietly, helping you build your strength. I wanted to say your spiritual strength as well. I feel like you've been picking up all the clues. Maybe it's just you haven't been taking notice of it. It's kind of quietly being given to you. I heard reiterated. So these same messages have been given to you over and over and over again. It could be in a dream state that these, I want to say, directions been given, right? Yeah. I feel like a lot of us on this spiritual journey have Phoenix energy. You are rebirthed over and over and over again. You understand the importance of, or you will understand the importance of learning and unlearning, right? Some things that work for us during a cycle in our lives, some of the ways that we think or the ways that we are, they may be all well and good for a certain amount of time, but then we step onto a new platform of energy and those same things, they just don't work like they used to, right? New levels, new energies, right? So you have to unlearn things and continue to learn new things at the same time. So it's like, yeah, I hear out of the darkness into the light, and then over and over and over again. And I feel like that's just your soul's way of moving through. I feel like I hear quick riser. So it's like you might be the type of soul that comes onto the path a little later, and then ascends very quickly, or you've been on the path throughout this lifetime. And as far as lifetimes go, maybe you've got 2 lifetimes full of energetic movement forward or soul's growth, right? It's like you just chose this lifetime to be the lifetime where you fast track to spirituality, right? It could be something along those lines. I'm seeing a lot of different instances where you wake up and all of a sudden you're off and running, and you've grown so much that I feel like it really surprises people, the energy that you've taken on. Busy, busy, busy. Yeah, I feel like this is a soul that's very, very busy. I want to say at play, but also working, right? it can be fun to work with spirit, but I feel like it's also work. You've incarnated for this purpose. Like a part of your reasoning for being here is this spiritual growth, is this expansion, right? Of course, we get to experience other things along the journey, right? Part of the human experience, relationships and friendships and, family dynamics and all that other good stuff, different work and workplace situations. But I feel like I'm talking to someone who understands that they have to juggle all the real world things and also really ascend very quickly in the spirituality. So that's what I'm getting. It's like Spirit has asked you to take on a lot, but I feel like it's what you signed up for. And I feel like I'm talking to people who may realize that now. Yeah, you may have ascended very, very quickly, opened up very, very quickly. Yeah, there's that play. There's that play and that busy energy. And I feel like that's the type of energy that has brought you far. I feel like your soul's inner compass will guide you towards experiences that feel fun, right? Those are the ones that kind of feed your soul and the ones that you're supposed to be chasing. And I feel like if you know, you know, right? I feel like light workers and healers have been known to follow that soul's inner compass, and our moves don't normally seem very logical to the outside world, but we always seem to get where we're going, or we always seem to acquire the good experiences in life. And people are like, they might say, oh, they're lucky, but you're not lucky. Well, maybe you are. Maybe that's a side note. Maybe you're a little lucky, but I feel like you've put in a lot of work. You've put in a lot of busy energy to get yourself where you're going. There's a lot of behind the scenes energy. Yeah, you could also have luck. I feel like some of us do. I feel lucky sometimes, even though I know I've put in a lot of hard work, and I feel like you could be experiencing that as well. So let's see. What else? Yeah, your sight, your clear knowing, your depth, your higher perspective. I feel like I wanted to say your need to connect, or your want to connect to create something more for the pack around you. It could be large or small. It doesn't really matter. But I feel like, yeah, the want to balance. There are all these needs that come to the forefront for these spiritual light workers. And I feel like it's like, your destiny's out there and you got to keep chasing it. There's something within you that won't rest until you get where you want to go, and there's always somewhere to go, right? That's the energy I'm feeling like. Yeah, there's your soft, your strong, there's those lightning connections, those realizations, those spiritual connections, right? There's so much more to it. There's divine communication, there's outward communication. There are a lot of things I feel like that drive you as a growing soul. Again, I hear on the fast track. So maybe some of you didn't start out being very spiritual, and I feel like some of you may have come in that way. So there's a bit of a difference here. I feel like it's for the spiritual soul today. The growth, the expansion, the realizations. I feel like in the first reading, there was that realization that, fears can stop us from moving forward. But once you kind of even that out, there's nothing stopping you. That guardian at the gate came up at the end of the reading. It's like there's nothing stopping you from really pushing forward. There's nothing blocking your energy or your way. And I feel like that's maybe what the spiritual journey is more so about. It's you kind of unclogging your path and energetically just creating that path for smooth sailing forward, right? You're doing the work on your end, and spirit on the other end puts the path down in front of you, right? Yeah, it's something about getting rid of the sad, getting rid of the energy, and stepping into or hopping into a new experience with sunshine, warmth, protection, care, rest, rejuvenation. It is really beautiful energy. I feel like Spirit has created you in a really beautiful way, in a very powerful way, to really kind of take your times to grow and expand. I hear going through the cycles of life. I feel like you're really good about growing through these cycles. Yes, you grow through what you go through is what I hear. And Spirit's really proud of you for all of the hard work you've put in. Just know that there's more ahead, but there's also more fun, more excitement, more warmth, more expansion, more growth, new souls to meet. I heard new deadlines to keep. So it's like, I feel like you're just really enjoying the journey, or you'll get to a point where you really just enjoy the journey for all that it throws in front of you on your path, right? You know you're never alone on this path. Spirit is always connected to you. I always say, sit center chest. Spirit sits center chest and helps me kind of maneuver my way through life. I just feel like that's the way you kind of move as well. Yeah, I heard at the helm of the vessel. So it's like, I feel like that's where there's a very clear understanding that you're guided by Spirit. And I don't know if you got to this later and you're on that fast track, or you've been fast tracking double time through this life with just double the amount of spiritual growth. I just kind of feel like that could be going on here too. Really gorgeous energy. Is there anything else? Yeah, new energy is coming in. I want to say on the heels of a heavier experience or heavier energy. I want to say new energy has come in to clear that out and boost you again. There may be a couple of experiences that seem, I want to say, just a touch magical, or they don't fit in a box. I want to say this might be a clue for someone. You may have had something recently happen, or something will happen very soon that will be kind of unexplainable. It'll be one of those really interesting things that just, there's no rhyme or reason for why it happened. It just did. And it's got a magical air to it. I feel like that's Spirit saying, they're just throwing these gifts and blessings along your path to keep it fun, to keep it interesting, to keep it light. So there are times for light and dark and growth and expansion. Okay. I feel like the energy is so powerful that I'm starting to repeat myself. Forgive me, collective. That happens when the energy is so powerful and Spirit really wants to push that message. I end up repeating myself and feeling bad about it when I listen to it back again. But I've said sorry, so hopefully you'll be okay. All right, let's hop in here to the letters. So your initials, their initials, and any other messages that may come channeling through. We have something standing up. What are you? A why? A question. I hear why. Yep, that is the question. Now, and then I heard a lot of questions. I do feel like this spiritual journey can leave us with more questions than answers. And I want to say, get used to that. That's part of the beauty of the journey. It always keeps you wondering, always keeps you curious about the next experience, or what they meant by that, or what that sign represented, right? Sometimes those things come into play. It's like you'll get a sign. Now, I'm speaking from experience. There was this one time that I had gotten a sign, and I was probably, I want to say, there was like 10 years in between this sign and it actually coming into fruition. It was that far in advance that one thing, that message came through, and I had expected it in the next couple of days, because most of the time if I get any type of message, it is something that kind of shows its face within the next like 3 days to a week, right? And I'm like, oh, there it is. That makes sense. But there are some things that come through, and it was so strong, and it was so clear, and it was so vivid, and I thought, wow, that's got to be happening soon. Go out 10 years into the future and that thing finally comes into fruition. And I was amazed by the fact that Spirit was like, yeah, don't you remember? We told you about that. And it was wild to me. It was something that I couldn't explain right out the gate, but it did come in later on, right? So you could experience something like that. as well, or, you know, just have a ton of answers along this, or a ton of questions along this journey. You'll get some answers, but some things will go unanswered. You'll be like, well, I don't know what that message meant. And maybe it was just supposed to come to your attention, right? I feel like that's something that happens here a lot on the journey. So let's see. I heard to you, to you, to you, and you. Something about gifts coming in. Yes, something about gifts coming in. I heard because. I heard it's done and it's accomplished. Done and accomplished. So you've recently accomplished something spiritually along your path. I do want to say, yeah, you've reached a goal is what I hear. And I heard incoming, so it's like, it's so funny. I just saw what looked like, and I hear into the war zone. So it's like, again, I hear it's all on the coattails of a tough situation. It's like sustenance. You know those, what are they called? Parachutes. And then they drop down, things that the soldiers might need, like food and different things. It's like an airdrop type energy is what I'm saying. I don't know if somebody's in the military, could be somebody listening, but that's what's kind of coming in, but it's in the form of blessings. It's like spirits, like relief coming in. It's like you're on the other side of that. It's like it's to the point where they can actually get the blessings in there for you. You've hit a certain goal point or checkpoint, or hit some type of peaceful energy, or you found it within yourself. I feel like you'll know if you know. If this is for you, you'll know. It's like Spirit saying, we're going to start sprinkling all those good blessings along your path now because you've gotten to a certain goal point or checkpoint. Yeah, I heard blessings, blessings. So I do hear blessings for all. I feel like even if that's not you and you've just come out of a rough situation, I do feel like blessings are being sprinkled along the path. I'm seeing that cute little earth elemental skipping down the path again, and the little flowers kind of popping up, little pink flowers popping up behind them as they play their music and dance down the path. I almost feel like it's almost beckoning me to start dancing that way as well, or following on that path. And it does look like it's a dirt path with lots of stones and ruts and everything else and little sprouts of flowers. So it's like it is the road less traveled. And I feel like that's another thing Spirit is saying. If you're willing to take the road less traveled, if you're willing to follow your soul's inner compass and maybe make some choices that people wouldn't think would be the best for you, or they don't see it panning out for you, right? And there might be a lot of noise about you following what you want, your wishes, hopes, and dreams, right? I just feel like there will be rewards for you doing that. So if it's like that side project type of energy from the first reading, it's all about your spiritual growth and expansion today. It's all about you learning and growing and on the fast track movement forward towards, I guess, enlightenment, really. Just that much more all the time. Of course, there is a physical side to all of this. We're just focusing today on the spiritual journey, but it is coupled with a very physical experience, right? Those of you who know it sometimes it gets hard to juggle real life and all of the spiritual experiences or growth and expansion that you're going through. It's really hard sometimes, and sometimes you need a rest. I do want to say, yes, please rest when you need to rest. Again, I heard there's a time for play and growth and running forward, racing forward, and there's a time for rest. So when those rests show up in your energy, take those, right? Take those and enjoy it for what it's worth. Get that rest in. All right, let's follow through here into the charms. Let's see, Spirit, what do we have for the collective? Anything else we can talk to the collective about today? Wow. No, it is literally just the spiritual message. This is about you and your soul's inner compass. Infinite energy, infinite soul, that's what you are. Spirit is saying it's all about the growth. Spirit is saying you are definitely, most definitely a powerhouse along this journey. You are an earth angel, a star seed, whatever name you want to put on it. Your soul is so important here. You have such big work to do. And I want to say congratulations for getting through those really tough experiences. And thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for taking that time out. It is a choice. It is a choice to walk the spiritual path along with the physical journey. It's a lot of extra work. But I feel like your soul came in to do that, and you've made a conscious choice in this lifetime to do that. Congratulations. I feel like you're really making a difference. Your energy makes a big difference out there. It helps others, right? You shine, and in turn, you help others shine and find the path as well. Infinite energy. Spirit is always with you, always. There's never a time that they're not with their light workers and their healers, right? Beautiful energy. Again, I hear congratulations. I feel it. I hear standing ovation, huge energy of congratulations going out to the collective, all you star seeds, all of you earth angels. Keep shining. You're going places, and because of that, you're helping others wake up to the path as well. And that is big, beautiful work. All right, collective, that is what I have for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to become part of this Ophiuchus tribe, and I will see you all in the next one.